I can't get all this on. They're on the prior tapes that I'm putting up. There's about 5 of them now. I'm just going to say that I found out in '83 that my real name, I'm 76 years old now. I was kidnapped in '41 and brought to these people's shack. And there was no cars there. This was done in '43. This is me. And she lives in the home that I was taken from with my money. She's given away Great Britain. And yes, she's very aware of me. And this is her family who lived a luxurious life off of my hell and money and off of the Brits' money. This is my sons, Mark and Scott. I have no idea where they are. This was made years ago. This is my dad, Edward VIII, illegally removed. This is my Uncle George, her father, illegal, with Roosevelt in '39, the year I was born, planning my kidnapping, along with Joe Kennedy, who was ambassador to Britain, appointed by Roosevelt. So my own uncle, the Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Rockefellers, and Kennedy, who was ambassador, and JFK flew in there all the time, and the older son, Joe. So it's my assumption that they got me here, flew me in to Cortland Air Base, which was built then, just being finished, and this woman had twins, illegal, illegitimately. I was grown up because they gave me the identity of the twin. This is Carl Preston, the twin. He was murdered by her, and so was Peggy. Now, in the state of Alabama, when I asked for birth certificates, they even changed the dates, which on the birth certificate says it's illegal. So all this has been illegal. There was an addendum to my father's forced abdication. He never married Wallace Simpson. He was married to Claudia O'Keefe, American sister to Georgia O'Keefe, a school teacher, a beautiful lady, as my father is a most wonderful man. It's the reason they took him down. I wrote about mind control murders. Larry Flintshot helped me in a political campaign. He was shot, and that's not funny. I trying to get this on a tape. He says I don't know who was responsible for his shooting. I was writing about mind control murders, and this is '76, so April Fool's Day of '80. Now then, I want to get to this part. Twila, I just found her name. I've never really had it. I didn't know you could Google some of the stuff and get it. Her name's Twila Joyce Pelland, Pelland. She supposedly married John Childers. If you want to go back to the tapes, you can. When I got back from, I'd done the book, and I thought it was because of the book that so much was happening. So I went to Dallas, because, actually to Abilene, because I was trying to get away, and John said his sister, Laura May, that lived in Abilene, was willing for me to come out there and stay with her a couple of weeks and try to find a job and help me relocate. If I found a job. There was never me giving up an apartment or anything, and the manager knew it. I had a letter from the FBI, ongoing investigation, national security involved. I thought it was the book. And she told me, the manager, that her uncle had been in charge of the Patty Hearst kidnapping. Well, the Hearst Castle, the Hearst News, they were part of this orchestration, the New World Order, that helped take down my dad and kidnap me. So there was an addendum to my father's abdication that made me Victoria II legal heir, and then there was an addendum to my divorce that was October the 12th, I believe, of '74. Now then, he comes back supposedly to help. He worked for R.J. Reynolds, and he was CIA, I know now. But during the time that I was lured out there, when I got to Texas, and told Laura, by the way, I checked with her before I ever left Marietta, Georgia to go, and it was okay. I get out there, and she tells me, turn around and go back, I can't come. I get back, and my apartment's been, it's in the same complex, but it's moved to another apartment. My furniture, the lease is in my ex-husband's name, and the deposit. Never, I got back, I had nothing. And my son tried to tell me, he said, you should see what Dad's done. He's put you on his medical insurance. He was trying to tell me that he had some thoughts about what was happening to me, or going to happen. I had antifreeze put in me. And I'm going to skip all that happened. I was forced in a car across the state line by my ex-husband, who paid this woman, the Gilder twins that I grew up being forced to call her mother. I was forced in the car, and I took back to Huntsville, where I later worked for the VA. And by the way, I have an antifreeze in you. I should have gone into a coma and died. So it was a living hell. Now I want to get back to, I kept begging to go back to my apartment, and I'm leaving out all that was done in here when I went for a simple tox screen, when I had the antifreeze put in me to see what it was, to see if I could neutralize, it could be neutralized. And then it was a living hell and to Huntsville. Anyway, I did not know that this woman, Twila, she was marrying, she already knew my ex-husband at Laurelwood. She was living there, I don't know right after or when I moved there in 79. I moved there May the 8th of 79. April Fool's Day of 80s when I had the antifreeze put in me. So they're married during this time, and I'm going to skip to all this. What they did with my children and to me. I was on, after I worked for the VA for computer science and for Golden Triangle, who was run by the CIA, I was literally just put on the street again. I took my book up to, and the letter from the FBI and all this stuff, and logged it in at the White House mailroom. And that's when Ronald Reagan's adopted son was the one he had known as lapel, and I thought, oh my God. And I didn't know my real name then, so I didn't, you know. But anyway, I'm gonna, you can't put it on here, what happened to me. I got back, finally made it back, I hope it's told, to Marietta, to where John's new wife, Twila, and he were trying to have me locked up and use the mental health system to do it. And the police told him that they couldn't, he and his new wife couldn't do it. Of course, she wasn't so new at that time, that had to have somebody related to me. Well, you got to go to Europe to get somebody other than my two sons. How about that? But the signature the police showed me was John's. Now then, just prior to this, when I'm trying to get back there to try to get to my kids, my apartment, nobody's done anything about the antifreeze. It was like hell trying to work and pretend for the DA and the other jobs that nothing, that you don't heal. That's a horrible damage to the brain. So then I find out about this woman I didn't even know, and my children. And the other night when I Googled this, you know who her contact is? My son's Mark and Scott's name is there. I don't even know where they are. And they never knew the truth about any of this. But this woman, how much did she have to do with what happened to me? And by the way, by very reliable sources, I'd like to see her deny them and say they're lying. They told me she had my divorce that gave me, it had an indemnity, it's just like my father's abdication did, illegal abdication. That anything he ever had, and he left $100,000 insurance upon his death to me in the divorce, and anything he had or ever had would be hacked with me. I didn't ask him to. I realize now he knew it wasn't going to happen anyway. It was all planned ahead of time. But that's what I wanted to say. None of these people have been held accountable. I don't know, this woman's gone on and lived her life, and there's things that really get me with what has been done to me that I've been told that were done to my children, okay? So I guess that's it. She tried with John, and I don't know if she was part of the antifreeze. Why wasn't she? How many people were in on it? The apartment, I suddenly come back and it's gone. She's living there, I found out later. So their marriage was planned. All of that was planned. And Then later I was flown to Flint, and I found out